Hey there, and welcome. I hope you have warm food to eat today, and that someone you care about might come around and share it with you. I hope this for your neighbors and my neighbors and strangers here and around the globe. Today is Tuesday, February 25th. My name is Grover, and this is Grover Reads the News. Would you like to hear a news update? If so, keep listening. If not, I'll offer again soon. And with that, let's hear some news. First up, we have U.S. news about anti-democratic activity, which honestly is most of our update today. An Idaho woman was restrained and removed from a public meeting by unidentified, plainclothes private security guards after she shouted out a statement about public corruption during an elected official's comment. These men grabbed her and pulled her down to the ground. In video footage, you can hear her shouting, "Who are you guys? Who the fuck are you?" And the audience around her are booing the guards and videoing. Teresa Borenpol is a former Democratic candidate for Idaho state legislature. She has said that although her comments could be viewed as heckling, audience members who were shouting in support of Republicans didn't face any repercussions. Next up, we have U.S. news about the executive branch. New York City's Mayor Adams announced yesterday that the city is closing a migrant shelter program which housed thousands of people each week who arrived in New York City with no place to live. This comes after the Trump administration withdrew more than $80 million in funds from the city's account after they had already deposited it. This also comes after Trump's Department of Justice dropped corruption charges against Mayor Adams. Some staff claim the dropped charges come as part of a quid pro quo agreement for Mayor Adams to help Trump's anti-immigrant agenda. Last week, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency posted an online, quote, wall of receipts, unquote, to celebrate how much it had saved by canceling federal contracts. Tuesday morning, it deleted the top 5 items that showed up on this wall of receipts as supposed cost savings after the press reported that these so-called receipts were riddled with errors, such as claiming to have canceled $8 billion from ICE when ICE's entire budget is around $8 billion. Next, I have news about federal employees resisting the executive agenda. Workers in Yosemite National Park hung an upside-down American flag, traditionally used as a cry of distress, over the side of El Capitan on one of the busiest weeks at the park. Mechanic Gavin Carpenter said, quote, "We're bringing attention to what's happening to the parks, which are every American's priorities. It's super important we take care of them, and we're losing people here, and it's not sustainable if we want to keep the parks open," unquote. Following a large critical response to cuts to the National Park Service, the administration announced it is restoring jobs for 50 National Park Service employees that were fired amid government-wide reductions. And they are also planning to hire nearly 3,000 additional seasonal temporary workers at similar numbers as previous years. The New York Times reports that 21 employees of Doge have quit and are refusing to implement Elon Musk's agenda. Quote, "We will not use our skills as technologists to compromise core government systems, jeopardize American sensitive data, or dismantle critical public services," the resigning group wrote in a letter addressed to Susie Wiles, Trump's chief of staff. "We will not lend our expertise to carry out or legitimize Doge's actions," they said. These workers are not among the slapdash and unvetted employees that Musk brought along with him. These employees had worked for the U.S. Digital Service, a technology-focused unit that was created in the Obama administration and rebranded by Musk and the sitting president. Finally, we have nature news about mutuality between aardvarks and melons. A new study has used camera trap footage in Namibia to confirm that a subterranean African melon is a big yes please for the aardvark, an elusive ant-eating animal found in sub-Saharan Africa. Communities in southern Africa had long associated the subterranean melon with the aardvark. Cucumbers and similar melon-like plants generally display their fruits above ground, but an African melon, Cucumis humifructus, buries its fruit about 8 inches underground, a rare approach to seed dispersal. The cameras recorded 11 mammal species around the fruits, but aardvarks and porcupines were the most frequent visitors. The footage showed that aardvarks were the only ones who dug deeply enough to remove the naturally buried fruits, while the porcupines ate only the shallow buried fruits or those above ground. Moreover, aardvark poop contained intact melon seeds, while porcupine droppings tended to have damaged ones. The authors posit that C. humifructus evolved to bury its fruits down deep to avoid the seeds from being destroyed by animals like porcupines. Aardvarks are known to have powerful sense of smell to sniff out ants and termites, and the researchers' videos showed them vigorously sniffing with their nose pressed to the ground where C. humifructus fruits were buried. Quote, "This is a really neat attempt to clarify what is actually a reasonably well-documented mutualism," Graham Curley, professor of zoology at Nelson Mandela University in South Africa, said. This story was reported by Shreya Dasgupta of Mumbai. Thank you for joining me to hear the news today. The news can be intense, and to be honest, I struggled today to get this summary together for you all, because it is a lot, and things are changing very quickly. It requires a lot of digging to ensure that information is verified and current. My incorporation of the news is much better, I find, when I take a moment to reflect, to double-check the information, and to cross-reference sources. The news can be a lot, but we don't have to face it alone. We can face it together. Thanks for being on this ride with me to face the news today. Truly, I have the desire to turn off and tune out sometimes, and I will, but it helps knowing that others want to know what's going on, and I can be part of our shared synthesis together. Until next time, be well.